And welcome into a Hump Day edition of the Backstage Pass. Always good to be here with you guys on the Hump Day as we finish out the week. Tomorrow, we'll have a couple of shows, and Friday a single show before we take the weekend off, and definitely come back full slate of shows over the next few weeks. Before I get out to Arizona, which I'm excited about this game, Week 7, Cardinals, Texans at State Farm Stadium, and she knows I'm rubbing it in right now because she's a big fan, rocking that jersey of the San Francisco 49ers. Brandon Morrell and our co-host Karen Lee Batten back here on the Backstage Pass presented by Bangtail Whiskey. And yeah, my Cardinals and her Niners, 3 undefeated teams there in that NFC West division with Seattle 1-1. So far, like I said, big things coming up over the next few weeks, hopefully for the Niners and the Cardinals. And, of course, 2 games to play each other this year, so it's going to be exciting here. Pleased to welcome in. Always great when guests come back to the show, and we talked about this last year during the pandemic. What We Do came out, and, of course, what she's doing right now is she's back here on the Backstage Pass, a Canadian recording artist, country pop star, Sarah Wickett back here. What's going on, girl?
Hey, I'm so happy to be back.
Well, it's great to have you here again. And hey, let's kind of relive some of those moments there a little bit from when we last talked. I know you've been busy. You've not stopped. Mama's Boys out there across all the digital platforms that came out August 27th. It's doing real well for you. And I guess since What We Do last year for 2020 on the audio side, we did that show. Kind of update me. What's been going on? Staying busy, writing new tunes, and obviously this single's out.
Yeah. I feel like after What We Do, I kind of started to explore a little bit of a new sound. What We Do was a great song. I had a lot of success with that. But I started kind of exploring more like Punjabi music. And I don't think there's Punjabi music in the country music industry at the moment. There's no real collaborations or anything happening there. And we can get into how that all came about as well. But yeah, I released a Punjabi/country song after What We Do last year. It was called Accent. And that did really well. I had a Punjabi artist featured on it, and everyone seemed to love it. So I figured I really wanted to go in that direction. It seemed like there was room for that in country music, which I love. So I've kind of been doing that. I did release a couple other singles at the beginning of 2021, and then I've released Mama's Boy, and we're kind of just going for it.
That's amazing. You know, I was watching some of your music videos, and your outfits are so pretty, and you've put in so much effort to learn the language, which is so cool. So you had Paul Baines in the accent, is that right?
Yeah, his name's Rahul Baines.
Thank you. Yeah, would never get that right.
Okay. He's a local Punjabi artist who I connected with just through the social media, as we all do now. So that was really cool to collaborate with him. I had already been kind of learning Punjabi and working with him. He and I wrote Accent together. So he was helping me obviously with the Punjabi, which really helped. And yeah, it was so much fun. The music video was a blast. I had the outfit I was wearing is called a lehenga, and I had that custom made for the video. And it's just been so much fun exploring the culture and the music and just everything about that industry.
It's so cool. You came up with a name for it. What was that again?
The genre?
Yeah.
So we're calling it Desi Pop Country.
Okay.
So yeah, Desi is basically comes from the word, what was it again? I feel like it comes from the word country in Hindi.
Mm-hmm.
So
very cool.
That's kind of where Desi came from. It kind of relates to the Desi people, and then the pop country is my genre. So we're trying to swing that. I don't know if people are digging it, but it seems to be working, and that's what people are calling it. So.
So cool. I love it. It's so interesting, different, you know?
Yeah.
It is. And was that something you kind of mentioned since What We Do, that particular style of music? And what's great about it is because country's becoming so versatile these days. You know, you get your traditional artists that are out there and they've been doing that for, 20 years and growing up with the 90s country, early 2000 feel to it. And then you kind of see the music that Florida Georgia Line is putting out and kind of started that trend a little bit. So we're kind of seeing that even from the Nashville artists that come on the show here. It's kind of versatile. Country music is so great out there right now because it's just like this smorgasbord of everything, right?
Exactly. And I don't think there's any Desi artists in country music right now, and I definitely think that they could bring a lot to the country music genre. And I would love to see more representation of them in country music. So I'm just hoping by me doing this, it kind of, and me expressing my interest in their culture and music and everything, and it encourages them to kind of do that and want to collaborate with different country artists. I would love to collaborate with more Desi artists in the future as well.
That's so cool. How many of your songs do you sing? It's Punjabi, right? Is it only Punjabi that you sing, right, in it?
Yeah, just 2 for now.
2 for now, yeah. Good for you. That's so awesome. It's not the easiest language. I will tell you a little tiny thing that I told Brendan earlier. I actually was in a past relationship, and I was for 8 years, and I went to India 5 times, and I've started to learn the language as well, and it's not the easiest language in the world to learn. And I was watching some of your videos where you were learning some of the words, especially about family, and it's very different from English, where it's not just aunt and uncle. It's like there's a different word if it's your dad's sister or your mom's sister, and so on. And so good for you, man. I totally applaud you. It's not easy.
Oh my God, I know. And like the pronunciation alone is so hard. I feel like I get drilled on that all the time, but it's so hard because our tongues aren't used to moving the way a native language speaker move, you know?
Totally.
And it's like riding a bicycle, and they say to be good at any language, what is it, 5 to 7 years, and if that. I've tried to sit down with the Rosetta Stone and all this other stuff, and Karen knows my attention span is like that much of a rat's tail. I don't have much of an attention span when it comes to it. I just start something, except for I guess doing this. Karen knows I have a lot of good attention to doing this too, which is a good thing, because to pay attention for a good 30 minutes, right? No, I'm just kidding. We'll go right to the audience questions, because I know David is tuning in all the way across the pond from England, and appreciate you tuning in, David, one of our avid listeners out there and viewers. So Sarah, tell me about the guitar that you're using and sing a song. We're gonna do a song today. So let's talk about that guitar, then we'll perform a song. How's that?
Sure. You want to see it?
Let's do it.
Yay.
So this is a Yamaha Storia. It was their Storia collection, and it's like a smaller guitar that they actually sent me as a part of their launch of the new line, I guess. And it's my favorite guitar. It's so easy to play, and it sounds amazing, and I like it because it's kind of smaller. It's easy for me to kind of get around and maneuver. So
would it be called a parlor guitar?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I have a smaller one that they call a parlor guitar, and so I wonder if that might be it. But I love that. That's so cool, and it is easier because they can be huge.
Yeah, it's not that much smaller.
Yeah.
But it is, known to be a little bit smaller than their usual guitars.
Awesome. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
There's a couple other singles I'm going to talk about too here in a little bit. Hey, let's have you play a little something for us here on the show. What do you say? Let's do a song. Have you play a little tune for us here, and dealer's choice. I'll let you play whatever you want to play acoustically here on the show, and show off that guitar. Why not?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to play Mama's Boy.
There we go. Obviously, which is out there across all digital platforms. Go get it.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Didn't want to say, but I noticed things have changed. You call me babe, but it don't sound the same. Looking at your phone, and I know you're missing home, but it's getting old, feeling so alone. You're just a little too achieve Monday, like something's up your sleeve Monday, and I know it ain't me. So don't he hoard us key. I'm sick of trying to change your ways. It's gotta be some give and take. Cause I'll be walking out if you go calling out to your mama, boy. But the apni aada taan way. Thoda le de. The way we're talking now, gonna have me walking out. Tell me, are you gonna be mine? Oh, your mama's boy. Your la. When I look at you, I can see your mama's eyes, not gonna lie. I kinda feel bad sometimes, so we're trying to learn each other's languages. Seems like my language ain't your language anymore. Yeah. I'm sick of trying to change your ways. There's gotta be some give and take. 'cause I'll be walking out if you go calling out to your mama, boy. Betul अपनी आदतों वे थोड़ा थोड़ा ले देखे. The way we're talking now, gonna have me walking out. Tell me how you gonna be mine. Oh, your mama's boy. Your la 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 la. मेरे आगे पीछे सी फैलता मैनू अंजी सी करता on getting out the dice होई मेरे तो. I'm sick of trying to change your ways. There's gotta be some give and take. 'Cause I'll be walking out if you go calling out to your mama, boy. But the अपनी आदतों वे थोड़ा ले देखे. The way we're talking now, gonna have me walking out. Tell me how you gonna be mine. Oh, your mama's boy. Your la 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 la. Yeah. Yeah, your mama's boy.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-hosts Kirsty Krause, Jeff McMahon, and Karen Lee Batten as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
And we're back here on the show again. Brandon Morrill, Karen Lee Batten, all the way from Canada, getting ready for those football games for week 3 out there too. And hard to believe week 3 of the National Football League season. There's a banter going back between me and her on these text messages, which is good. We're presented by our good friends over at Bangtail Whiskey. And of course, if you'd like to join the team, email address and everything is on our Facebook page, Backstage Pass 409. You can join our sponsorship team there. Will take good care of your business and brand it in a way that you've never seen before. When you talk to my team, you get a lot of creative ideas. So back here with Sarah Wickett on the program here. Coming up tomorrow, we got 2 shows that I'm aware of. Yes, 2 shows, Friday a show. And then, of course, next week, more good stuff coming up here on the Backstage Pass. So what I love about that, too, Sarah, is just the tone in your voice. You mentioned about learning that language and those really beautiful lyrics that you have in Punjabi, if I'm saying that correctly, and the country sound. It really has a good blend. Just a beautiful performance, and really I commend you for just thinking outside the box and going after something you believe in and working with different artists and just having a really good head on your shoulders too. Was that kind of hard to, I guess, put together in a sense in writing the song and kind of, like Karen said, learning that language, taking that, I guess, walk on the wild side, if you will, a little bit, to kind of walk me through the process and how Mama's Boy came about?
Yeah. So I'm friends with a girl named Bethany Kaur, and she's a songwriter, and we'd never really written before. She's kind of new into songwriting and stuff, and I told her I wanted to write a song. So Mama's Boy actually started out as being called Switch It Up, which it was kind of the same concept, but obviously a different title, and not as directly, towards a mother-in-law. Anyways, so her and I wrote the song Switch It Up, and then we took it to my producers, and we kind of all just sat in the room and just Mark and Eric, my 2 producers, kind of thought of the idea of Mama's Boy. They liked Switch It Up, but they thought Mama's Boy could be a really cool hook. And I wasn't too sure about it at first, but once the song kind of started coming together more, I was really excited about it. And I'm so happy with it, honestly. It was obviously hard to do the Punjabi, and it's hard to find rhyming words within Punjabi and within English because
Mhm.
sometimes they don't directly translate. So that was a little bit difficult, but Vipni was great, and she speaks a bit of Hindi Punjabi mix. So there might be a few Hindi Punjabi words in there as well. But Hindi and Punjabi are both very similar, and she was great.
I think you did a great job, and I mean, it's not an easy topic, and I think you did it. I think you did it with grace, and you did it gently. And I don't know. I really think that the way that you delivered it, and the music video is awesome. I watched the behind the scenes of it as well. Oh my word, it's hilarious. So please, everybody, after this podcast, you got to go over and check out our YouTube and like look at some of the behind the scenes because it's so entertaining. You guys are hilarious. There's one part in it where the guys. Well, there's some hot guys that are shirtless, so of course I had to keep watching that. And they take their white shirts off that are like brand new, and they're like, man, we gotta like make this look like we actually did something today and worked, So they're rubbing them on the floor and like throwing hay on them. I think your boyfriend put it back on, and he goes, "Oh yeah, it worked."
Yeah,
it's so cute.
They want to work; they just want it to look like they work.
Exactly. No, so good. I love it. Yeah, definitely got to go check out the behind the scenes. I love that you posted those types of videos too, because it's great for everybody just to see the effort and the build that does go into, trying to create a music video. It's even though it might be 3 minutes and 40 seconds, it takes like 7 hours to create sometimes, So it was.
Sorry?
It was just going to say it's really well done.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a really long day, and there were so many funny things that still didn't even make it into the behind the scenes. I remember the two guys were behind me with their shirts on. I decided to only put in the actual music video the clips with their shirts off, but they had their shirts on still in the very first take, and they're throwing hay bales like back and forth to each other, and just I don't know. We don't live on a farm, so we had one pitchfork. And we had a shovel, and there was a comment we got saying like they don't use shovels to move hay around; they use pitchforks. We're like, well, we're not farmers. I don't know.
Whatever. I was just looking at the shirtless dudes, so yeah. I mean, you nailed it. The other thing I was going to ask you, it looks like you have a lot of fun cutting your videos, which clearly you do. But am I wrong to say that you put people that you know in it? Like, was your dad in that video with his truck?
My dad's truck was in the music video. My dad was in the behind the scenes.
Okay.
My dad doesn't like to clean very often. Usually it's my mom. So to see him cleaning his truck for me for the music video was very nice and hilarious. I had to document it.
Good dad. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember you telling us last time. Oh, go ahead, Karen. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, probably makes it a whole lot more fun having people that you know in your music videos. I know I did that once too, where the cast was, especially during COVID, where the cast was everybody that I knew, bunch of my girlfriends, and it's a completely different way of shooting a video than having actors, which is great. It's just different.
Yeah. The female actress in the video was my boyfriend's friend, so we all knew each other, and it was really, really fun. It was a nice hangout day.
Totally. That's awesome.
Tell me about this, because I know growing up there in Ontario, we talked about last time. What was it about hunting and fishing and the outdoors, and of course just captivating you? And of course, I love those two things. Everybody does who loves outdoors, especially now. Today was the first day of fall, and I walked outside this morning. I was like, Texas weather is 60 something degrees. I'm like, this doesn't feel right out here. So just took it and ran with it too. What was it about the outdoors that kind of really just captivated you from a young age?
I think my parents were very adamant on us just always being outside and playing outside. We didn't really have, phones and stuff when I was growing up. So I think just naturally we were forced into being outside. But we loved it. My dad always used to take us hunting and fishing. And so I think, again, just naturally, we just grew up loving it. And eventually my parents moved to a lake house. So we grew up literally on the lake boating and stuff every day, all day. So I loved my childhood. I wish I still lived there.
Aw. You have a video on YouTube of your man taking you like backcountry, and not just backcountry, but like you guys. I mean, he hauled a canoe over his head all the way down to the water, and you had a backpack the size of your body, and you guys actually like canoed across the lake, I'm assuming, to your campsite. Like, it was crazy. Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy camping. I haven't really been backcountry camping before him, but it was so beautiful. We went up to Killarney, and just the canoe ride alone, it was obviously work, but the views were so nice. I didn't even mind. And yeah, it was such a fun weekend. We just roughed it. There was definitely bears around. That was scary, but yeah, it was so much fun. We got up at 3 a.m. one night to watch the sunrise, which was
That's awesome.
not my idea, but
I love it though. It's, I mean, hey, you can dress her up, right? But you can also take her camping. And you looked good both ways.
Thank you. Yeah, it was
I want to dive into these two singles because last year you stayed busy, or I should say this year you stayed busy too. It's so between last year and this year, it's like it's still 2021. We're still going through this whole thing. But Potential came out here in 2021. Take me through this one and kind of the lowdown here. I'll do that one first, and we'll talk about 2 Feet.
Yeah, Potential was a song I wrote. I did have a breakup last year, so naturally, as songwriters write about experiences, I wrote that one about a previous relationship, and that one and 2 Feet, the next one I released, kind of really helped me get through that situation. So Potential is basically just about falling for someone's potential instead of actually seeing what they really are. You kind of make up this idea of them in your head, and you hope and pray that they're that person, but in reality you're kind of blinded by love, and that's kind of what it was about.
And then 2 Feet came out, which was another great song there, because I've added all these to my playlist. So folks, you can do that by just going out there, Spotify or whatever your digital service is, and just add them to your playlist. It's really easy. Inspiration behind 2 Feet, what was that?
So the inspiration behind 2 Feet was the actual breakup. It's basically just about kind of being in an unhealthy relationship and not knowing how to get out of that. And then finally, just getting back up on your 2 feet and realizing you can do better than this, and you've got the strength to do it. So yeah, and I loved filming the music video for it. I had never really filmed a sad music video before, but it was so much fun acting. And I don't know if you guys have seen the music video, but I had an actual letter that my ex had written me to read during the video, which was impactful, I think.
It starts off that way, right? Yeah, I remember that. I was thinking about that on both those songs that Brennan just mentioned. Like, they're both so emotional and so vulnerable. And I know, like, for me, I know that's been hard. Is that hard for you to kind of write about that? Or maybe a better question would be, is it hard for you to get to the point where you're recording it and like exposing it to the public?
Not really. I mean, I know it's going to help people who are going through a similar situation. I know that I'm not necessarily alone in that. And so I think as a songwriter, it helps me kind of persevere knowing that someone else could probably relate to this as well. And it's going to help someone out there kind of get over their breakup as well. So yeah, it was fun. And yeah, I loved it. It's great.
That's a great answer. I love that answer. And it's so true. That is so true, because I mean, a lot of people will pull from that experience that you've had for sure and not feel alone.
Yeah. I love sad songs. Sad songs are really good.
Yeah.
Hey, make you cry, make you laugh. That's what music's supposed to do, no doubt. And mixed emotions, or definitely, or just crank up one in your truck and just keep it playing for a long time. Hey, I remember you telling me on the last episode we did on the audio side, which is still out there. If people missed it, it's on the website, and of course out there on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you can find us. And at the same time, I know Shania Twain, Carrie Underwood, two big influences for you, powerhouse ladies of 90s country into early 2000s. So what was it about those ladies that just kind of, it was like the it factor for you?
I think Shania paved the way for a lot of female artists. And I think just her taking the risk that she did, even now me wanting to take a risk, it's kind of, I owe that all to her. And she did get a lot of flack for what she was doing at first, but she paved the way for so many females to want to do what she's doing. So I think that really inspired me about her. And you know, she's an icon now. And then obviously Carrie Underwood, her vocals are just something that I always kind of aspired to be and to be able to do. She's so good and she's beautiful, and I just love her.
When you first started out, did you start out singing your own songs right out of the gate, or do you remember the covers that you maybe learned in the very beginning?
Oh gosh, I think it was like the Justin Bieber, Bruno Mars era.
Yeah.
I was big into YouTube and like making YouTube covers and stuff. So all of the popular songs I kind of would cover and put on YouTube and then do at my high school talent shows and stuff. But I was a really shy kid, so YouTube was a way that I could perform, but not really perform in front of people, but kind of get myself out there and see what people thought. So that was a good way for me to kind of break out of my shell a bit.
And then how did country happen for you?
I think I always listened to Shania as well. I don't know if I covered any of her songs when I was young, because obviously she came out before Justin Bieber, but I had her Up album, and her Up album is kind of what made me love her.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how that started. Her album was always there with everything else. Pussycat Dolls, Shania Twain, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears.
That's awesome.
All the good stuff out there, no doubt. And that's what I like about Mama's Boy too, as well. The fact is, not just a beautiful country song too, but it crosses over so many different genres of music. And we talked about Punjabi, and like I said, your just beautiful way of pronouncing those words in the song too, and definitely making some fans way beyond Canada too. You've actually been making some fans across the streams, and I believe if I read somewhere correctly, you're getting more fans in South Asia and different parts of the world, different parts of the country. Wow. So that's pretty cool to like, and I say what we do on this show is global too at the same time, because we've had artists on from Australia, the UK, Canada, all over the world, and the States. How cool is that to see the streams go up for you, the type of music that you're doing, the crossover, the gamble you took at the same time, to knowing you're like, well, is this going to pay off? Is it not going to pay off? But it just seems like you got to take a walk on the wild side a little bit to kind of make fans in other countries, because people all over the world love music, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's really crazy to me that people, especially in South Asia, like India specifically, listen to my music, because although it seems like we live two completely different lives, but even just within the country music and Punjabi music industry, there are a lot of similarities in topics that we talk about with like the lyrical content, at least. Like there's a lot of Punjabi music that talks about farming and small towns and relationships and all that. So although we are so different, I feel like we are very similar, and the music genres really do kind of overlap in a way, even though they sound very different.
Mm-hmm. So true. I never ever thought of it like that at all. That's really cool. Right on.
I love the sound of that one. Again, Mama's Boy across all the digital platforms. You can also check her out at sarahwickett.com. Well, hey, you got that beautiful guitar near you. Can you play one more for us today? Can we do one more?
I didn't really prepare for one more.
Okay. All right. We'll let the suspense go. We'll leave it at Mama's Boy. I just love her music so much. I was going to have a special request, but she probably know what I was going to ask for if she was going to do one more. What was if I was going to ask you what song? What would you have played? Or what was my special request, if you know me?
I'm going to say What We Do, because
yeah, you're right. She's right. She's right. Next time we get her on, we'll definitely play that one. Like I said, live here too as well. We'll get to some of the comments too. Didn't mean to catch you off guard by that. By no means. I love this. Jay saying, yeah, that's cool. I like that. Okay, so killed it. And
cool. That's your man. Yeah, that's awesome. I recognize that.
All right. One more here. Yep. So yes, similar. They are. You think about it, and you kind of get that feel, and you actually open the Pandora's box a little bit. I think it becomes a little 360. I mean, it comes full circle, no doubt about it. All right, let's get to some rapid fire. And I guess the first one I'm gonna start off with today has got to be kind of a two-parter, but a fun one too at the same time. All right, what's the best part of doing your line of work, and what's the most challenging part being a musician?
The best part, I think, is just being able to connect with so many different people, especially nowadays. Online, you get to connect with so many different people across the world, and it's really nice hearing all the constructive criticism and feedback and positivity, and just how music can affect, like how your music can affect someone else in their lives. So that's always really cool, I think, as a songwriter. I feel like every songwriter says that, but it's true. And then the most challenging, probably as an independent artist, being your own boss kind of thing. You have to literally do everything, and sometimes it does get very overwhelming and can take away from you actually sitting down and being creative. But it's really nice when you actually find a good balance and you enjoy all of the aspects of the career. So
that's awesome. So I love asking this question and in your case, from your single Drive, which was February of 2014, to Mama's Boy this month, what would you say is something that you have learned that you might tell somebody just starting out?
Don't be scared of taking a risk, and I don't know how to word this, but like, don't stay comfortable. Like, get out of your comfort zone. And, maybe not everyone's going to like it, but if you love it and it's something you believe in, just go for it. And there's probably going to be other people out there that also believe in it, even if you think you're the only person that does.
I love that. Like, you do you.
Yeah.
That's an awesome answer. I love it.
I'm going to go back to some old school Sarah Wickett here, because this is just playlist stuff that I just keep adding. And Friday Night In 2020, take me through that one, because what I love about that one is just the feel of it too at the same time. And the song title pretty much speaks for itself. Where did the inspiration come for that tune?
That's one of my favorite songs. So that song we released during the pandemic, but we wrote it before the pandemic. Because I would rather just stay in on a Friday night and hang out with some people that I'm close with, rather than kind of going out to the bars and stuff at that time, because we were able to go out into the bars, but now we're not. So that's all we want to do. During the pandemic, it was great because we weren't allowed to go to the bars. So the only choice we had was to spend our Friday nights in. So I feel like we planned that one perfectly. And yeah, that was a really fun one. I wrote that one with Robin Ottolini and, again, my two producers. And it turned out great. It's one of my faves.
It's definitely a favorite.
Do you have an embarrassing moment, and does it have something to do with getting stuck on a sea-doo?
Oh my God. Someone else asked me this in an interview. I'm not embarrassed about it.
I don't even know, to be honest. I just read it somewhere and I was like, I'm going to ask her.
That's so funny. Yeah, I guess I could tell the story. I don't know how much time we have left, but so yeah, I was out on the lake with my girlfriend. We were looking at fish. There's like these big carp that swim around one of the islands near my parents' house a certain time of year. And I just happened to be kind of driving my Sea-Doo back from my grandma's house, because we had just put it in the water for the year. And we had been turning it on and off because, the carp are scared of the engine. So if we shut the engine off, they'd come and swim under us and we'd see them. It was really cool. And I wanted to show her that, because she's kind of like a city girl and never really seen really big fish before. So I took her over there. I guess the engine didn't like me turning it on and off multiple times after it hadn't been run all winter.
Oh, no.
I went to switch with her so she could drive, and she was trying to turn it on and it wouldn't turn on. We're closer to the island, but not really swimming distance, and definitely not close enough to my parents to swim back or anything. So thankfully I had my cell phone. But if I didn't have my cell phone, her and I definitely talked through scenarios of what we would have to do if we were stranded out there. Luckily, the lake wasn't too rough or anything, and it wasn't a big panic, but we were talking about having to swim to the island. We were both in bare feet. I was like, wow. Yeah, we could eat the fish that are swimming around.
At least you have something to eat. Yeah. Oh, no. I would have died. I would have started yelling or something, because at least sound travels on water pretty loudly.
Yeah, she kind of waved down boats that were going by, but they were too far away, and it was really funny. So we ended up calling my dad, and he got someone to come pick us up. But yeah,
that's a good one. I like it.
Stories are countless here, I'd say, and Sarah knows every program we do our homework here. It's just we find little things like that to bring up and just make fun of the scenarios too as well. But also, to at least you guys were Okay, the safe part, safe. Sorry, is the best part of that story. All right, latest shows to binge watch. What's been on your TV?
I've been so busy. I don't know. I'm craving just sitting down and watching Netflix. Honestly, I'm excited for winter so we can start doing that. But I have been watching Breaking Bad. I hadn't seen it before, which everyone was like, "Why haven't you seen Breaking Bad?" But my boyfriend is rewatching it with me. We're on season 2, and I'm loving it. And then the 3rd season of You is coming out, so I'm excited for that. I don't know if you guys watch that, but
I haven't seen that. What's that on?
What is that?
On Netflix?
Yeah, it's that creepy guy who like is a serial killer and like kills his girlfriend.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, that's the primetime TV, must see TV. I'm going to turn it on tonight. Well, I guess because tomorrow's Thursday night, so I'll watch tonight. There you go.
But he's attractive, so that's why I watch it.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. That's like Good Girls. It's like I don't know why, but the guy's so hot. Like
I'll see if the wife wants to put that on tonight for the Netflix rerun after the kid goes to bed. No doubt. Yeah, I give it a chance because I like little stuff like that. Not that I don't like stuff like that. I'm saying shows that get you into stuff like that. Let me get careful.
Wait a minute.
I know, Karen. I'm going to say this. Sarah knows me well enough to know I don't advocate anything like that, but I will say shows that get into that too. And you're right. Look, Breaking Bad is the same way too. You get into that, you watch a few seasons, and 1 or 2 episodes, you're hooked for a whole weekend. It is like it's binge watching. That's the way it goes.
Totally.
So good.
What you got?
What would you say if you could think of one is the best purchase you've ever made, and then what's the dumbest purchase you've ever made? And Whiskey wants to know as well, clearly.
The best purchase I've ever made. I think my Sea-Doo.
There you go.
I saved up a lot of money, and I was really proud of even just being able to buy it, and I've had so much fun on it, and it's brought so many memories, which is really nice. And I think I'll always remember my first Sea-Doo. My dad keeps wanting me to sell it and get a better one, but it just
Aww. That's awesome.
I don't know what the stupidest purchase would be. I feel like I'm pretty good with my money, and I don't like to buy stupid things, but I'm sure there's been something. I don't even know.
Maybe that's a question for your boyfriend.
He's got an answer.
My husband would definitely have an answer. He'd be like, I got like 4 right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome. At least you don't think that there was anything stupid. That's good. And that's good that you're good with your money. That's awesome.
I love that too. All right. Latest foods you've been into, cooking or takeout? What do you enjoy most?
I think we've been doing a lot of cooking. I've been over at my boyfriend's a lot, so we've been cooking a lot of Indian food, which is always amazing. We had some chicken yesterday, which was his aunt's specialty, and it was just so good. It's like Indian / Thai. It's like this weird flavor that doesn't really exist in English she can make. I don't even know how to describe it to you, but
it's just good. It just sounds good. That's enough as it is, and it's almost dinner time, so anything sounds good right about now. Thai food, Indian food, it's just good stuff. That actually might be a walk on the wild side. I might go for some of that tonight. Yeah,
that sounds
really good to me.
What game are you really good at? Do you like playing games?
I do. I think I'm really good. If you ask my boyfriend, I don't know. Him and I are always in a competition. I feel like I always win.
That's awesome.
I love playing cards. I really love Monopoly. Monopoly's fun, but I love playing Rummy, the card game.
That's a good one.
I'm always the winner. So,
have you ever played golf, the card game?
No.
It's so good. Okay, you got to look that up. It's so good. My girlfriend and I get addicted to it. We drink wine and then play golf, and then if I win too much or she wins too much, we go on to crazy eggs. But golf's so good. You literally like play 18 holes, and at the end, yeah, it's so good. You got to look it up.
I love that. Good stuff right there. All right, dream destination vacation. Once all this is over, are you crossing the border? Are you staying right home country, a beach? Where are you going?
My number one bucket list destination is somewhere in Africa. I would love to go on like one of those crazy African lion safaris and kind of like camp with the lions and do all of that stuff. So that's number one. I don't know if I'm going to get to that when the borders open up and everything, but
Mhm.
I definitely want to go somewhere tropical soon. Maybe next year would be nice.
Ooh,
Not
yeah.
really sure where. I've always wanted to go to Colombia. I don't know what the state of Colombia is in right now, but it would be nice to go there.
And then to follow that up, what's your dream stage? If you
Stage.
could perform on any stage anywhere in the world.
I feel like I always say Boots and Hearts, which is like my hometown festival. Just because I feel like everyone I know would come to that and it would just be really, really fun. But of course, playing any festival in the States would be really cool too. I know you guys do a big up there, so it'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Now that you're saying Boots and Hearts, it's reminding me of one thing in your behind the scenes. You and your man were talking, and he said something about camping in the backcountry, and you said, yeah, it's almost like Boots and Hearts. He's like, it is not like Boots and Hearts. And you're like, well, I'm in a tent, so I get it.
Yeah, Boots and Hearts is not backcountry camping. I will admit that.
That was so funny. I was laughing. I love it.
I'll tell you what, she's one of the ones to keep an eye on, and doing things outside the box is always a cool thing. And definitely that variety is a spice of life describes her. And you can hear it in the latest single, Mama's Boy. And of course, a lot of the tunes we talked about today, folks. Check her out, sarahwickett.com. And of course, everywhere streaming is possible. Support our artists and definitely go get the music. I always say that because I love doing it and love finding unique people like herself and Karen Lee to join us always on the program. Sarah, we appreciate the time, my friend, and always looking to have you back when new projects come out. Thank you so much for being with us. Hope you had fun.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be back.
Always one of a kind, no doubt. Karen, good to see you too. And Vegas went pretty good, right?
Vegas went pretty good. Yeah, we both got a win in Vegas, buddy.
That's a good. Yeah, you did. Week 3 matchups coming up. Be sure to check out the website. We'll do some fun little contests or something this weekend with the matchups there. Arizona should beat Jacksonville, and of course the Niners too. Definitely should win their football game, no doubt. Thanks to Bangtail Whiskey and of course the team here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Guest Hunter Thomas will be stopping by, and then the musician. I'm looking forward to catching up with her great stuff. Anna McElroy is going to stop by here on the show as we just added her this afternoon. So tomorrow, be sure and tune in. And also, too, if you want to join the team here, of course, sponsor the program, feel free to contact us via the website or the information on the Facebook page. We'll see you guys tomorrow for a double dip on the Backstage Pass. Have a great night. Until then.